Our project is Data Visualization of Terrorism. My name is Ma Song, and here are our team members. We set 5 sections to show you our data visualization project. The first section is background. Global terrorism is a psychological warfare carried out by terrorists. It can create fear, uncertainty, and separation in society. It's of the highest priority to avoid wars and prevent terrorism on a global scale. Using visualization tools to analyze the data of terrorism is a wise way to have an inside view of terrorism. This can help people have a clear cognition of terrorism. Second, the data we use comes from the Global Terrorism Database. Here is the link. GDT is an open-source database including information on over 190,000 terrorist attacks. It includes information on at least 45 variables for each case. In our project, we used the following 12 variables to do the analysis. The third section is Goal and Method. Our goal is to comprehensively display information about the location, type, attackers, and number of casualties of terrorist attacks. We hope our visualization can reflect some meaning insights on terrorism. We use Python to process the dataset and Tableau to visualize.
My name is HUANG Mei. Let us talk about Session 4, Visualization and Tasks. In this session, we will talk about our dashboard and introduce our tasks from general and aspects.
My name is SONG Huancheng, and I'm going to introduce the general part. In this part, tasks are divided into 2 sections, the region of terrorism incidents and their relationship with time. In the first task, we visualize a scatter map as well as a bar chart. The scatter map encodes all the terrorism incidents after 2000 based on their longitude and latitude. The size of each dot denotes the death number, and we use a hue of 2 colors to show whether an event is successful. So, looking up to the density of dots, we can find that Middle North Africa, Europe, South Middle East, and Asia, north part of South America suffer from the terrorism most, while the other regions such as America and China has a relatively medium frequency of terrorism incidents. And in some countries such as Canada, Russia, and Australia, there are almost no terrorism incidents occurred, which may represent a good public security. Also, the size and color of dots can be used to determine the degree of casualties with large size and orange color indicating a severe terrorist attack. For example, if we enlarge the map and focus on terrorism incidents happening in Ireland, we can find that the size of dots is often small and the proportion of blue dots is relatively large, suggesting that although there are lots of terrorism incidents happening in Ireland, they are less deadly and most of them are under well control. On the contrary, the terrorism incidents happening in Middle Africa and Middle West Asia are possessed of a high rate of success and often causing large number of deaths, which represent a severe security problem in these regions. While a scatter map can display the distribution clearly, the information of exact death toll in each region is missed, which can make it difficult to do accurate comparison to the severity of terrorism. Therefore, a bar chart is implemented to better compare the total number of deaths from attacks in each region. From this graph, we can find that Middle East and North Africa South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa suffer from the terrorism most, and South and Central America, Southeast Asia get a medium security problem, and Europe, North and East Asia, Australia and Oceania are mainly out of security concerns. The second task is the trend of terrorism around the world. In this task, we implemented some stream graphs. The first stream graph shows the trend of all incidents in the world from 1970 to 1918. The encoding scheme is that x-axis with years and the y-axis with the number of incidents. Different colors means different countries, and the width of each line shows the number of incidents happened in each country. In order to reduce the visual clutter, we separate the graph into two subgraphs to focus on a few regions which contains valuable trend information and are worth to be analyzed. Firstly, in Afghanistan, Iraq, Pakistan, Somalia, and Ukraine, there are very few terrorism incidents before 2000. However, it goes badly since then, and the number of incidents increased rapidly among these 5 countries. Secondly, in Chile, El Salvador, and Guatemala, there are a lot of terrorism incidents between 1980 and 1995. Fortunately, it went better after that, and terrorism incidents become very low after 2000.
My name is LIU Xuantong. I will talk about our task from attack type aspect. Firstly, we want to find out which is the deadliest terrorist attack type. We choose a two-dimensional bubble chart. The x-coordinate is the number of incidents and the y-coordinate is the total number of casualties over a period of time. Different color represents different attack type, and the size of each bubble represents the average number of casualties per incident, which shows the lethality of each attack type. As a result, firstly, we found that explosion happened most frequently and has killed most people. It is reasonable. In the turbulent and dangerous countries where terrorist attacks occur frequently, war and weapons are very common, and so is explosion. Secondly, hijacking has highest damage. Most casualty happens in a hijacking incident. It is because hijacking aims to transportation such as planes and trains, where population density is high, and it's hard to escape because of the confined spaces. Then we want to explore the attack type distribution in different countries. We have selected countries that have suffered more than 1,000 terrorist attacks from 1970 to 2018 as dangerous countries, and countries that have suffered a total of 10 to 50 attacks as relatively safe countries. There are 34 dangerous countries and 43 relatively safe countries. We want to see if the attack type distribution differs between these two types of countries. Firstly, here shows the distribution of dangerous countries. The depth of each part denotes the total number of incidents. The hue of the color encodes the attack type. We found that the main type of almost all dangerous countries is explosion, except 4 countries where armed assault dominates. We can get the insight that a number of dangerous countries are in turmoil and frequent wars, so the explosion and armed assault are so common. And here shows the distribution of relatively safe countries. Although still in most countries, explosion is the most numerous category, the attack type distribution is more diversified. The country with faculty attacks as the main type is the second most. Besides, only in 2 countries armed assault dominates. In New Zealand and Vietnam, unarmed assault is the most. In Guinea, assassination dominates. We can get the insight that, compared to dangerous countries, in many relatively safe countries, the attack types are less fierce or lethal.
My name is Masong. Task 4 is about perpetrator. We use bar chart and stream graph to show the pattern of terrorist organizations. We use bar chart to show the top 10 terrorist organizations according to the number of incidents. The hat means the number of incidents caused by each group, and different color means different regions. From this graph, we found Taliban makes the most terrorism and is mainly active in South Asia, and when organization mainly terrorizes in one region, it hardly active in other regions. Then we use stream chart to show the number of attacks made by active terrorist organizations every year. The width of the line means the number of incidents caused by each group, and different color means different terrorist organizations. From this graph, we found that some organizations such as ISIL and Taliban become more and more active since about 2000. However, some organizations such as FMLN and Shining Path were active between 1980 and 1995. They hardly appear after 2000. This phenomenon matches the pattern in the trend of terrorism around the world. According to our research, we found that the organizations and the countries can match in timeline. For example, FMLN was founded in El Salvador, and Taliban mainly focuses on Afghanistan.
My name is HUANG Mei. Now I'm going to talk about Task 5, Attack Target. From the word cloud of attack target in the world, we can see private citizen and property is the main target of terrorist attacks. Besides, government general, police, and military as well as business are also the important targets of terrorist attacks in the world. We firstly consider attack targets in different years and find that private citizens and property, government general, police, and military as well as business are always the main targets of terrorism. And transportation became more frequently attacked by terrorists after 1978. Then we select those countries which have more than 1,000 deaths from terrorist attacks. It shows major of these countries have the similar word cloud with the words, such as UK, Russia, Peru. Colombia's terrorists also mainly attacked private citizens and property and police and so on, which is similar with the words. But utilities are also a large common target in Colombia. Differently, in some countries, military is the largest attack target of terrorism, and we find that government general is also an important target of terrorist attacks in most of these kind of countries, such as Somalia, Egypt, and Lebanon, with government diplomatic can be found in the word cloud. We speculate that these countries have unstable regions. El Salvador is a special one in this count, with utilities is the second largest target in this country. There are also a few countries showing special word cloud. For example, the largest attack target in China is transportation. And in Indonesia, religious figures and private citizens and property are the two most common targets. And for the United States, business is the largest attack target. Especially abortion-related is a common target in this country, which is totally different with other countries.
It's LIU Xuantong again. The last part is our conclusion. We found that terrorist attacks have two peaks worldwide. The one occurred from early 1980s to early 1990s, lasting for almost 10 years, and the other occurred from 2013 to 2018 and may continue. We have not yet confirmed why the peak occurred during these two time periods. We speculate part of the reason for the surge in recent years is the increasingly uneven Middle East. However, we searched on the internet but did not find out what happened before 1980 to be the trigger of the first terrorism peak. The most dangerous regions are Middle East, North Africa, South Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. The most dangerous countries are Iraq, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. There are 47 safe countries where the total amount of terrorism is lower than 10 from 1970 to 2018. Almost all of them are small countries, and their geographical distribution is scattered. In conclusion, terrorist attacks still threaten international and national security. We all should concern about it.
This is our dashboard. It is an overview of our data visualization system. Here, country and attack type can be chosen in the selector. The map shows the total number of deaths from terrorism, and the line chart shows the number of deaths from different attack types between 1970 and 2018. The string chart below the line chart illustrates the total number of deaths from terrorist attacks in different countries, and the common target can be seen in the word cloud.